So this is my first ever haul video. A couple years ago, I didn't know what these were. So if you're not familiar, typically these are from makeup channels or fashion channels where someone goes to the mall and gets a whole haul full of clothes or makeup and then shows on video. So last week I went on Amazon.com and just went on a buying spree of things that I can use in my home studio. And many of these are things that are replacing pieces that I didn't really like that much, or things that are a little less expensive that I plan on recommending to people, but I wanted to try them first. So let's start out with the microphone. So I've kind of got this set up a little funky so that you can see everything, but this microphone is an Audio Technica, and I'm going to put all of this information down below so you can buy this. Everything came from Amazon. There'll be links. And this is a relatively inexpensive microphone. My normal microphone is about $250 to $300. It's also an Audio Technica. This is a very similar shotgun microphone, but I want to say it was $50. So it's pretty good. It does have a kind of this little squiggly cord on it, which is not necessarily the most convenient. My other one is running on XLR cables, so they're a lot more protected. And it has the little 1/8 inch jack. But you're hearing me over that right now, and it does a pretty good job. I could tell the difference when I pulled up my $250 microphone and compared to the $51. There's a little bit more hiss in the background, but not nearly enough for most people to need to upgrade to the more expensive one. So on this, I'm giving 2 thumbs up. It is a little bit quiet when it's being pulled into the computer. And I'm not quite sure. I haven't tried that with the other one. I don't know if I can try it with the other one because I don't have an 1/8 inch jack that comes off an XLR. But microphone, pretty good. So then what I found out is that my MacBook Pro, 2014 or 15 MacBook Pro, there is no audio input on that. And I think this is true of some of the other Macintosh computers, iMacs and whatnot. In 2013, Apple stopped using the combination microphone / audio in jack. So there's all this great information about how to use the microphone / audio in jack. But then I found a website that said, oh yeah, by the way, in 2013 they stopped using this. So it looks like the exact same jack, but it cannot be used for audio in. So I picked up this. This was like $5. The USB audio stereo sound adapter. Essentially what this does is you plug it into your USB port, and then it allows you to plug in both the headset and audio in. So you can get the audio in going into your computer. That's what I'm using right now. I'm recording right into ScreenFlow from my webcam and from my new microphone through this little guy. So pretty happy with this guy too. So moving down the line here, I also got this, I don't know how it's pronounced, Newer remote control for my Canon camera. So most of these videos I shoot on a Canon 70D or a 60D. I've got an older 60D too. And Canon sells this little remote control for way too much money, I think. I mean, $20 or something. But there's a couple of options out there on Amazon and other brands that are much cheaper. And so I did a little research and I found that the Newer was a good option because it had this little switch on the back. Some of the cheaper ones don't have the switch, and if you're going to be using your Canon for video, you need the switch because there's a little 2 and a little dot. And if it's set on the little dot, you'll just get pictures. And if it's set on the number 2, that'll trigger the video camera. So the reason I got this is because I got so tired of this Optica. This was the first remote I got. I actually got a second one because the first one didn't work so well. But what I noticed is this guy would turn on the camera but immediately turn it off. And it was really hard to know exactly if the camera had started or not. So this guy, I've tried it a number of times. Push it once, camera starts. Push it a second time, camera stops. This guy, camera was starting and stopping, multiple times when you push the button. So you just weren't sure when the little yellow light flashed if it was starting or if it was stopping. So pretty happy with this guy. It uses the same part number that the Canon uses, and I'll have a link to that down below. So another thing that I wasn't happy with that I used to recommend and it's still not too bad, is this iPhone adapter. And it's very simple. It's very thin, so you can kind of see right past it, which is nice. But a lot of these things have this little piece of rubber here, and it can fall out. I've got a few of these, and this one still has the piece of rubber, but on another one, that little piece of rubber fell out. So what, you know? But what I found is if you put your phone in there and that little piece of rubber isn't there, there's a good chance that this thing's going to clamp down and squeeze out your phone and your phone will go flying. So I no longer recommend this guy because that little piece of rubber, it's too easy for that to fall out. So what did I switch to? I switched to something here. Let me see if I can dismount this here. This clamp. And it seems it's pretty simple, and I'm thinking that I'll probably be able to use it for other stuff too. And it's able to clip onto a kind of any phone. It's anything that big, and it can go either direction. So I could have it this way if I was recording, with the front camera, or I can put it on the back camera. A lot of things I do, I want to be able to see what I'm recording, so I record it on the camera that faces the user, that has the LCD screen. And what I liked about this guy is it didn't cover the entire LCD screen, so you can still kind of see past it. So you can set this guy up and be able to see what you're recording on the screen. A lot of them were pretty blocky, and we're going to block off a lot of the screen. Of course, this was the best option for that, for being able to see, but that little rubber top there, don't want to break my iPhone. So pretty good. The only thing is it's kind of got this little scoop in here. So mounting it to things with this edge can be difficult. Whereas this was just flat and could kind of spin around. This is a little harder to mount. And I'm going to show you that in a second. So one of the things I love to do is this was one of my favorite pieces of equipment, still is one of my favorite pieces of equipment. This is a clamp, so you can clamp on, and it's got a 1/4-inch screw. So this is the size screw that's in the bottom of your camera. This is kind of a standard tripod screw. So, you can attach your iPhone to this or your camera or whatnot and just clamp it on. And then it's got this nice little ball joint here where it can kind of go any direction. So it's great. One of the things I started doing with it was clamping it to my microphone stand. So I would actually have the microphone on one end and have the camera on the other. Everything was all on the microphone stand, and that was great, except for one problem. This would slowly tilt because it's not strong enough to hold on to the microphone stand. If I put it down on the end of the microphone stand where there's a handle, then it would work, but I couldn't use it in the middle. So I found something to fix that. So I'll leave this guy here. It's this clamp, and you can see it actually is meant to clamp down, and you can tighten it down and then clamp down. That's a little too tight, I think. There you go. That guy's hardly moving there. Probably you couldn't put a DSLR on here and have this hold. You might be if you're able to hold it straight up. And then it has this 1/4-inch screw here, and it'll move around. I'm actually going to pull this off of here just to make it easier for you guys to see. And this clamp will open pretty wide, so you can put this on some pretty big poles. Clamp this maybe to a tripod leg or something like that if you need to mount a light or whatnot. So here it is, and then when it clamps down like that, and has the 1/4-inch mount there, and a little wheel here so you can turn this so the 1/4-inch. So the 1/4-inch mount, you can turn it in different directions, and then let me just tighten that guy down. If you pull on it here, you'll notice here you can twist it this way. So that's pretty nice. So you can get a number of different combinations of angles. However, you can't get the angles that this guy can get. This guy can get every single angle, can twist every direction. This one only twists 2 directions, so you don't get everything. So it's a little less versatile that way. However, it definitely clamps on and holds on a lot tighter than this guy. So that is my haul for the week. There's links down in the description down below. Let me know if this was helpful. I also am thinking about doing individual reviews of these items, but I'm always buying stuff on Amazon.com. I hope you are too, just to have fun. And these things, they're inexpensive and they really make your life a lot easier. And so I want to know if you guys want me to do this more often. Maybe I'll come up with a different word than haul video. So leave me those comments down below, and I'll see you next week.